Sergeant Generic John.
Can I have some food?
This is Ruby.
I just got done talking to Quangle. We've already made up, just so you know.
Okay.
So,
he took my chat with him quite well.
That's good. He's special to me. He's one of my first.
Want to let you know that Delta One reached out to us again.
Yep.
And he is not in a good mood. He has some issues with a man called Gunner Kane now.
I'm gonna tell you something. He ain't gonna last very long where he is.
I understand. I see the nominees.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Is this what you want?
Honestly, you know, the day I went in there for the interview is supposed to be a day I came in for an inquiry, right? I wanted to understand where the jurisdiction began, ended. Can we patrol? Like, what is the job requirements? And it turned into an interview. It went well. I gave them my vision. The DOJ liked the vision. Put my name up. And however, each passing day, it's almost like I'm watching people, you know, burn the filing cabinet, so to speak.
Yes.
And it angers me because there actually are some very, very fucking competent and excited marshals. McAllister, Bobby, etc. And having had spoken to them, it's very clear to me that they're afraid to do anything, but they also are not getting the guidance needed. After yesterday's events, and yesterday was a fucking shit show. I had to spend about 3 hours micromanaging 3 separate scenes in which a VIP with sensitive classified information was shot by a fucking sniper rifle and all these other things. We had 15 people in handcuffs. And there was 95s left in the fucking water. At the end of it, when everything culminated, I came to learn that Gunner Kane had been made aware of the situation that was going to transpire. And that he did
sounds like the conversation we just had.
Yep. And the only reason that myself, the sheriff, and even came across it and started to cook is because we accidentally noticed the helicopter around and we pulled it over and said, "What are you doing?" And even then, Delta One, who's the commander for Darkstone, was confused because he's like, Gunner knew about this. And I'm like, he never told us shit. Ruby, there are barely any reports on Faceless.
I know.
Or Darkstone.
I know.
There's a meeting come Monday with the legislative authorities, and the only reason that's even happening to legalize their weapon sales is because I demanded that they fucking talk. That's the Marshals' job, not ours. You know what I mean?
And the only reason I know about that meeting is from Delta One. He just had a conversation with us and he said, who is the point person that Gunner Kane has been speaking to at LSPD? And we said, no one. He asked if we knew about the operation on Friday. We said no. He said, I need to talk to Gunner Kane. Because he was under the impression that the current head of the state marshals has been filtering this information down to BCSO and LSPD.
Oh, yeah. No, that ain't the case.
We know.
it goes as far as, I mean, that's what made the, have you seen the impeachment papers, the transcript?
I was there for some of it. I was there in the courtroom for some of it.
Gunnar Kane and his attorney, who's also a marshal, lied under oath. Everything from the way that they deputized Darkstone, which never happened. That was a recommendation that I made to give them radios. It wasn't even a deputization. It was like, just so we can communicate. He used that as a shield to say, I never authorized them to do these things. Or like they were legally allowed to. He doesn't know what he's doing. But, you know, the past is the past. And I say it in that, you know, I don't think realistically anyone's going to want to deal with the headache of putting that man behind bars, even though I think he should. I think there just needs to be a regime change and a Marshals department that helps embolden both departments rather than trying to be the hero without knowing, like, you know, how to fucking wear a cape. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just going to go back to something you said before about those particular names you brought up from the Marshals department. And unfortunately, I would have to say, from my perspective, I don't believe they have much potential. Today, I was approached by a marshal who handed over a case to me, handed a case from the Marshals to me and said, do you think someone from LSPD can look into this? What's the case?
You can go ahead and look at a regular report 32950. They responded to a 911 of an individual on the mountain looking over the prison. They didn't document him. They didn't fingerprint him. They didn't take a photo of his face. They're assuming they know who he is because of something that was written in the dirt. They decided to canvass the area. They didn't go to CMC. They don't know. They believe the individual is in ICU. They don't know emergency
can't hold this
contact.
against them, chat.
They know nothing. I asked, did you respond or look back at dispatch to see if there were any shots fired or maybe a situation you could go and investigate? Nope, nothing. They've handed me over absolutely bloody nothing. And it all ties into the courthouse shooting yesterday, where this individual was specifically called by the judge on a state announcement.
Oh.
And they
Wait, is he dead?
They did nothing. I don't know. The ICU can't give me any information. No ID. They didn't take a photo of his face. Nothing. Absolutely zilch. I have nothing to go on.
That's frustrating.
I asked why, and he said we were tripled up in the car, so we couldn't split up. I almost threw my MDT at him.
Here's how I would chop it up. When I give my assessment of Chris has always been helpful. Bobby and McAllister have a lot of promise. However, they don't have guidance. They don't know what they're doing. And nothing. It's not because they're not capable of doing it, because I think they are very sharp in their own merit. The problem is that they have not been trained. And I will say, and this is, you know, for what it's worth, today, when I spoke to a handful of the marshals, because I wanted them to know my position, if I got it, you know, I didn't want them, I mean, who knows if I'm even going to become director, right? But if I did, I didn't want them to know, meet me day one thinking I'm going to come in with an axe. I'm coming in to fix things. And fix means proper training, proper understanding of SOPs, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want an IA. That don't help nobody. People should want the marshals there because of what they bring and the respect that they earn. And right now, their respect is in the dumpster. In said conversation, Bobby and McAllister actually asked to attend our academy. So there is self-realization that they're under-equipped to knowing how to assert the law in our county, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, they are very under-equipped.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose
so-
my question is still this night. I mean, you're going to get nominated, which is obviously there.
Yeah.
Do you want this?
I want to be able to police, and therefore I do.
Okay.
Because if that doesn't change, I won't be able to police. You ain't going to be able to police. Our investigations are going to get cooked left, right, and the third. And we're going to end up with a bomb over our head and Gunnar Kane being like, oh, yeah, the launch codes. Yeah, we learned about that. The bomb was coming on Wednesday. You know what I mean? After we're like in a fucking bunker somewhere, like looking over our casualties. You know what I mean?
The fact of the matter is that there have been some huge cases that LSPD and BCSO have had to front. I never should have had to push terrorism on the bombings of civilians. I shouldn't have had to do that. That should have been something that the Marshals should have come straight in and swooped up. I'm just in shock. And I asked them multiple times. I look back over the last 9 months, there have been multiple cases that are on a state level, not at an LSPD level, not at a BCSO level. And I feel that if the Marshals don't step it up, we're going to continue to, I don't want to say lose cases, but not get the best out of these cases.
Transparently, I think getting the Marshals to that line that you're describing, I don't think that's happening in our current lifetime. And I'm facing like sort of pragmatism, right? To get someone from zero to becoming like a prosecutorial detective is, I'd estimate about like
tough.
6 months, right? You know, in 2-3 months, you can get yourself a good senior, right? You need about 6 to get that prosecutor, because, you know, it comes, you've also got all the time you got to spend in bench trials and whatnot, knowing what motions are, this, that, and the third. I don't see that as like a realistic goal that I'd put for myself. But rather, I see it, I see the success of the Marshals being more of increasing communication, and there being a collective effort to these bigger cases, with the Marshals doing the bulk of the shit that a lot of people don't want to do, right? So it's not you, it's not me, it's not, you know, Aaron for the 15th time, or Maeve, what is going to end up being the 15th time, right? You know, the same old. It's like, well, you wanted this, you're gonna have to do it, even if it's not the best, you know, as good as, you know, how Maeve could do it or how you could do it. It's setting that platform to start working together, right? You know, and having that interdepartmental thing. Like, for example, let's take the bombing, right? The Marshals should have came in. If we PD ran it, you know, on the ground, that's fine. But Marshals should have been there and been like, okay, we need to go collect this. We need to go get that, right? We're going to build this up. We need this person or peoples from LSPD and this person and peoples from, you know, BCSO. Let's get this case going forward. You know what I mean? So.
Yep, I agree.
You know.
Well, I suppose if this is something that you want, and obviously there's a few more nominations going up, then I've always enjoyed working with you, and I will continue to enjoy working with you.
Well, either way, I don't think it changes anything for us. I mean, even if I don't get this, we're still working together. So, and it'll just mean, you know, we just don't utilize the Marshals, I guess.
Well, now that we know that they've been withholding information that they should have been telling us in regards to these Darkstone things, I'm not surprised, but again, once again, disappointed.
I will say that Shift 1 is been appraised. After speaking to Quangelos, let me ask you, what are you familiar with Darkstone today? I think there is an internal PD communication drop as well. Well,
that's the thing. When I speak to Pred and Rhodes, they still know nothing.
They should.
Not a lot. They don't know a lot.
Okay. I guess to be fair, Pred just he's sipping in and then Rhodes is Shift 3. So let me give you kind of a breakdown, and then feel free to we can talk more in depth in future. After the whole weapons transport that took place, there was the impeachment filing. The impeachment filing, in my opinion, was kind of misfired. But that's my opinion, because they targeted as they should have told the state and should have had a state emergency. That was the only thing they tackled, despite the fact there was a litany of other areas of negligence that would have gotten them an actual impeachment. But because they put that forward and they kind of fired early, they missed the mark. However, in that impeachment hearing, I can count 4 incidents. I can't recall all of them outside of the deputy one where they lied to the DOJ and the public. It's why I requested a transcript of the entire impeachment hearing, because I wanted to, crack further into it. Things went more astray with, Doc doing what he did, and it was unfortunate because he was a point of contact for what turned into the Marshall task force or something. I don't even know the name of it.
Correct. Yeah. Joint task force.
The joint task force. Unfortunately, and this is interesting, is Barrett, the guy who made the joint task force, says that was not their mandate. So Gunner had, when he had come in, I'd just taken this thing and just ran with it. I think he's in make-believe land, like LARPing as a marshal.
He deputized people and he added tags to those people whether they wanted it or not.
Correct. To the extent that even they gave it to Maxwell, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Correct.
Now, from the behavior I saw in the impeachment hearing to the various other incidents, Gunner has relied on passing the buck, right? So he'll be there for the tea and the information coming in, like I got a marshal, the fancy suit, but he makes the PD do the dirty work, so that he has no liability, right, and no accountability. And that was further emphasized in the impeachment hearing, in which, now remember, he blamed the BCSO and the LSPD for not communicating and said we knew everything. We did not. We didn't know any of that.
Correct. Yep.
And to the extent that I arrested Delta One and one of his operatives during that whole thing. No, not during that thing. The day after or 2 days after, where there was a massive shootout on Great Ocean Highway, and said these motherfuckers can't be doing fighter jets. What's illegal about that? So we threw them in. So what has transpired lately is about 3 weeks back, I contacted Delta One. I contacted the mayor's offices and the DOJ, and I said, y'all going to sit down and figure this shit out. Because realistically, we can't fight a private, military court. You know what I mean? We're not going to be able to do that.
Yes.
At the same time, we need this shit. So y'all get in a fucking room. That's the meeting Monday. Or that was what resulted in the cap legislation. And then the meeting Monday is to figure out SOPs. So in other words, when they are conducting operations, they announce it. In fact, Delta One, after my conversation from yesterday, he actually 311'd his operations today. Here we go. I took a photo of it. It's
yeah, Jake. I read them.
Yes. So
I saw the 311s. We were wondering what was going on.
now,
And that's when Quangle told us he saw the aeroplane, the helicopter.
yeah, so what's going on with that is there is a active nuclear silo in Grapeseed. Do you know about
Yes,
that?
I know it. Yep, I do.
It is believed that there are faceless operatives operating underneath. There has, due to the shit show that took place, they have not been able to open it up or get the equipment. While all this is happening, the Faceless, who the Darkstone is sort of up against, Faceless not only has assets, Brandon Valentino, et cetera, which, mind you, there's a series of subpoenas that are going up for the incident yesterday. Okay, actually, fast forward. Faceless have a bunch of, like, comms devices, UAVs. They can tap into phones, all kinds of crazy shit. Yesterday, the VIP that was being moved around had documents in a hard drive detailing the devices that we are going to be able to use in order to jam the Faceless comms, right?
Right.
So, like, whether it's like photos or tapping in our phones, they wouldn't be able to do that. That's the device that was being tested today. I didn't know that till afterwards when I called, when Delta One gave me a call and he explained himself. Now, I want to be very clear here. They do not believe in our Constitution, right? They're very much operating in a gray area. They're not residents of San Andreas as far as I'm aware.
Right.
So they cannot be given free reign, but we need to get them to operate within our rules.
Correct. Yeah.
But that
within the boundaries.
Within the boundaries, exactly. But the thing is, they've been under the presumption they're doing the right thing because Gunner's dumb fuck ass never told them otherwise. So,
God damn it.
Yesterday, the person moving around with that hard drive, there was an attempt by Frederick White, Brandon Valentino, Cuddles, and 3 others.
Cuddles?
Correct. Trying
Oh,
to
my Lord.
take them out with one of them, this fucking clown guy. I forgot what his name is, like Snuffles or some shit. Sneaky. Not only took this device off him, but then attempted to drown him in the water. And to give you an idea of how much of a shit show it was and how much migraine I got after micro and all, is that after I was shot, because I jumped in the water after him because no one wanted to, and I started beating his ass in the water. He'd already shot at cops. We had a cop shoot through me to shoot him down.
Oh, my Lord.
So, and then they left his body and the VIP in the middle of the fucking water in the ocean. So, you understand what I'm saying, right? People are trying to go back to pangs and all this. Regardless, the hard drive was recovered as well as the documents. So there's 6 subpoenas going out. And we're going to start likely formally charging some of the Faceless assets. However, that's on a roadmap that has very few personnel ready to jump on board.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. You know about Edgar, I assume? He's in for murder right now? Or not murder, for the...
Mm-hmm.
And that he was broken out. There was 3 attempts to break him out this week?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's that to me is normal for Edgar.
Well, what's interesting is it's not the Babylonians. It's people close to the Faceless trying to break him out. So, despite the fact that, you know, it's a whole saga. So, anyways,
Edgar plays his cards very close to his hand. Chest, sorry. I don't trust the things that he says. I believe that his time in Babylon was nothing more than a time of hiding.
You need a ride? We're all splitting up.
Oh, yep.
You're
Probably
gonna bring
not
Knife
wrong.
to VCSO?
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
In
Alright,
future, if anything, like you find yourself
Mm-hmm.
like not being appraised on some things, don't hesitate to give me a call because I'm awake like from the morning time. We need to find a better way to percolate this information down because everyone in high command should know these things at some level. But
Listen, as you know, Opal's not the head of TRT in regards to LSPD anymore. I gave her a chance when I became interim. She wasn't interested. I asked certain things from her when I was a lieutenant. She wasn't interested. Unfortunately, TRT turned into a task force that Gunner Kane, Darkstone, or Faceless used in some form of way. And I believe that that derailed not only the certification, but it also kept a lot of things into a very small group of, at the time, I know Turner was privy to some information. I mean, there were times where Maxwell would come on duty and just say, someone would say to her, okay, we have to go do this. And she would just go, thinking that this was a sanctioned operation, you know?
oh yeah.
And unfortunately, I think Opal believed Gunner too much, and Gunner just thought everything was go with the flow.
You know,
No consequences.
she was under the impression, this is by Maxwell, that was her superior. And not to freak you out too much, but most of those documents are not in the MDT.
Well, there's nothing. I mean, you became captain, I became interim just after that. We found nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
So, one day I'll give you, whenever you're free, I'll give you a bit of a tea session that I can't say over the phone. But let's just say the majority of what they probably know, I've gotten directly from the source. So.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate it, Ruby. And,
all right. I'll catch up with you later. I've got a couple of things I need to tie up.
All right.
I mean,
take care.
All
right. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll let you go then.
No, not yet. Not
Damn
yet.
It, damn